I need to apologize to you all. Tribute Thursday or Throwback Thursday is not going to happen right now tonight. I will make that up to y'all as soon as possible. Trying to key up my Instagram really quickly. Okay. Alright, Instagram, if you're here, not going to be long. Hold on. I'm not going to dive too deep into martial arts tonight, but I am going to give you guys something. First is an apology because I was not on drinking plate tonight. It's next Thursday. So if you're here, somewhere between 8 and 9, I will ask the host if I could actually also go live on Instagram. If he says no, then it won't. If he says yes, then I will. YouTube, you will not be in this process. Alright. So before I get started, I'm going to show you a few items. And I'm going to tell you about conventional weapons. But first, I got this thing out of a restaurant. It means the world to me. It's one of the treasures I have next to like my mini no mask. And I want to talk to y'all. I got this out of a Chinese restaurant in Smithville, Virginia, my second hometown. I want y'all to understand, I'm a connoisseur of things like this. I love these little knick-knack things. And I have no idea what this shit means. Alright, so you guys can see that. There you go for Instagram. And there you go, the back side of that. There you go, Instagram. Alright, so, hello there. This is the part where I start talking to y'all about defending yourself with reachable objects, conventional weapons, instead of your standard weapons. Your standard weapon is a gun or a knife. And you need to understand that sometimes those are not always available. So we're going to start with something simple. This is a little pack of toothpicks. So there are a lot of things you can do with one toothpick. Alright, if I can get one of these damn things out. Now, I'm going to be honest. If I can get one of these damn things out. Okay, clearly the top comes off. There we go. Hold that. First and foremost, do not attempt. Just in case somebody lets their kids see this shit. Now I can't close the damn thing. Okay, there it is. I have no intention of putting this toothpick here back in there. Germs and all. Alright, so what we have here is a toothpick. Simple wooden toothpick. So, I know you're thinking, what can you do with a fucking toothpick because it's easy to break? Yes, it is. A toothpick is very easy to break. But a toothpick is very dangerous. It is very dangerous because in the right hands, a toothpick can be just as lethal as a knife. Now, last night, I was on for about an hour or at least 40 some odd minutes. And if you're on YouTube, you can see that. If you're on IGTV, you can see that. The only people who probably can't see it is TikTok and Facebook because I suck with technology. So, in my video last night, I mentioned to you that people generally don't teach you where to hit as much as they tell you about how hard to hit someone. So we're going to play the playing field a little bit differently now. I'm going to need to sit down so I can honestly give you guys a proper look before I get up and do martial art demonstrations. Where are you going to stick this toothpick is very fucking important. Nose, eye, ear. Those are the three most dangerous places that you can stick a toothpick on the human body. Because it's sharp enough to pierce the flesh of your nostrils. And if you get it all the way up in there, if you see the distance of this toothbrush, and you have a whole conglomerate of them, and you got them in your hand, You can throw them like darts at someone's eyes. But if you can get close enough to them and you still have it in your hand, you can shove it up their nose. You can shove it into their eye. You can shove it into their ear. It is a non-conventional weapon, but it is a weapon of convenience because it's there and you have it. And if you have it, anything sharp can be dangerous to the nose, the eyes, and the ears. And even the mouth if you get and then you jam their mouth shut. Alright? You can do a lot of dangerous shit with a toothpick. I probably should not be teaching you this shit on TV. But I don't have a career, and it's more than likely I'm probably never going to get one that keep going at the rate I'm going. So I'm going all out. Now, if my career never takes off until after I'm dead, at least you'll have this, and you'll be like, oh, now we discover him after he's dead, the same way that my hero Bruce Lee was discovered, and that's okay. But you can also pierce through the skin with enough force. You can push a toothpick through someone's skin. The skin is not as tough as people think it is. In some places it is, but in some cases it's not. And you can through here. You can jab it up through here, and it can come through their lip. Now, pain is going to make someone back off you. It might not stop them, but it'll damn sure make them back the fuck up off you. Pain in the right places will stop someone. You jab this toothpick in someone's fucking eye, I'm pretty sure they're going to back the fuck off. Unless they're on drugs and they can't feel any damn thing. But they're definitely going to be blind in one eye. Because you're not going to be playing. You're not going to try to skin them. You're going to jab this bitch straight down into the pupil. So, yeah. Again, something I probably shouldn't be teaching y'all. And if you want to know why the hair is like that, the hair is, I was going to shave my face. And then I decided to just go ahead and make a video. So, yeah. I can put the hair down in a minute. Which I will do in a minute. But a toothpick, as small as it is just like a sewing needle. A sewing needle and a toothpick are very similar. The toothpick's going to break, though, on impact. But now you have tiny shards, so you can still do your damage with that. The only problem in reality with that is that you have to be pretty goddamn close to get somebody in the fucking eye with a toothpick or up their nose. So you have to know where you're going to use your unconventional weapon. Alright? The second unconventional weapon is this brush. This brush is not the brush I would recommend. I would recommend one of those old school brushes that has a wooden back. But this still is going to do enough damage to let somebody know that they've been hit. You know, you can take it across their face, you can punch them in the throat, punch them in the sternum. You know, you can hit them in places that a lot of people don't think that's going to do fatal shit. But you're not really going to do too much damage clocking them upside the head. But if you hit them in the throat, you know, you're gonna do some damage. Anywhere in this line is going to be a fatal spot to hit. And anywhere down in the throat, in the sternum area, you're going to be able to do damage with them. Worst come to worst, you can shove it up their ass. Because they'll never expect you to do that in a fight. Literally, no one will ever expect you to finger their prong hole in a fight. Next item up is this comb. Alright? So, we have this comb. This comb isn't a conventional weapon at all, but look at the teeth. You have those teeth, you have those teeth, and you have these teeth. Now, as I make myself look beautiful for y'all, I'm kidding. I'm just making myself look somewhat decent. Beautiful is something I probably will never be. But anyway, moving on. So did you understand that it is generally not the sharpness of the blade when you are using a sword or a knife, it is the force behind it. Yes, this is a plastic comb. You can see that it is plastic. That does not mean it is not any less dangerous than anything else in your hand. If you are a martial artist, anything that you touch, if you have been taught properly, will become as lethal. This thing here, up the nose, in the eye, across the throat. Now here's going to be questionable. Alright, that's going to be questionable. I'm going to keep it real. That's going to be questionable. There's not a lot of exposed skin down here. But right here, you know, when I come at you, you know, I'm coming at you with a full stram of freaking damn, you know, I'm coming full blast with that strike. So I'm coming either across that way, across this way, and angles help if I choose to go up so that I gouge you this way. I'm trying to make sure that I do as much damage as possible. And I'm not swinging this bitch like I'm flying a paper airplane. I'm swinging at this bitch like I have an actual knife in my hand. Because this thing is sharp enough and the force behind it that I'm going to be swinging with will have enough velocity to rip your skin. Now, I'm not saying that you should probably try this on anybody, but if this is all you got, then this is all you got. So, ladies, combs can be used as lethal weapons. You know how your comb feels when it goes to your head. You know, it gives you a little bit of sensation. You know, it's not like an orgasm or any of that shit, but it gives you a little bit of sensation. So you know that it is there. You know that your hair has been combed. And unlike the rest of y'all beautiful people, because of the radiation in my body, I'm forever pulling out hair. So, yeah. It's probably why my hair won't grow like talking about it, because it's all coming out in the comb and brush. Now, so before I get up and start doing martial arts with this comb and that brush, this is a fan. This fan here cannot be used as a weapon per se, but it is the simulation of what I could do with my other fan, and some fans do have the sharp tips on them. Those are the dangerous fans. This fan is not any less dangerous in the right hand, but for all medicinal purposes tonight, that's your shield, and that is your sword. So you can block it, and you can block it this way, and then you can slice it that way, but because of this like frilly shit, that ain't gonna work. But my other fan, the big one with the green dragon on it, you've all seen it, that one will definitely do some damage to you. My giant pink sword fan, it's not gonna do any damage. This thing here is not going to do any damage because it's completely plastic. My metal green thing has metal, so the metal is going to be a very important prominent factor in fighting with the fan. Now, for those who don't know all of the stories, I'm going to give you the one that I was taught about the fighting fan. Now, the fighting fan has legend in Chinese Kung Fu, mostly used by women and not so much women. I don't know how to put that without being insensitive and without being gender biased. Alright, so we're just going to say women. Alright, so we're just going to say women. So, before I get up and do martial art demonstration, you have to understand that I'm going to give you this story. There was a such thing as concubines and warrior women in China. The women, for centuries, were not allowed to touch weapons in Asia. It was like an offense, like a big fucking offense, and many women were killed for touching weapons or handling weapons at any point in time. Y'all can stop me if you've heard this, because some of the legends have changed, and every legend either gets amplified or de-escalated when someone's telling you a story from another country and another culture. I understand that. God only knows how many times somebody has said something right or wrong about Coyote the Trickster. So, the warrior women had to assist concubines being transported to emperors. So, bandits who had raped and kidnapped the women didn't know that warrior women existed. And warrior women did not have weapons. They had fans. And since paper was invented in China, very bad paper cuts would come towards warriors who would attack these warrior women who fought with these fans. So the fan has tradition in Chinese Kung Fu. Works better when a woman does it. Yeah, so your strikes, blocks, strikes, blocks. Yeah, because it's a shield. And now it's a sword. It's a shield. Looks harmless. Blow dust in your face. Strike. So you're striking here at the throat. Strike. You're striking here at the sternum. So strike. Slit their throat. Understand? Boom. So that's here. And they bend over. This is opened. And you go across the throat. That frilly thing might actually have something to that. Okay. Let's hope I didn't cut my own damn throat. I don't see any blood, so we're good. But you know, lots of things you can do with this fan. You know, some of them did have rings. So, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, well, I'm cutting your throat. Now let's get to the good shit. When using a comb, you're gonna have to get in close. So, boom, sternum, step out, come down. Now, from this side, I should have been, because I'm going to correct myself, I should have gotten to this side of the opponent. Because they were most people generally throw a left before they throw a right. So if he throws a left, boom, I'm on this side, I'm coming in. I'm not going to break the arm, I'm just going to block it, and I'm going to come across the throat. So, they're throwing a left, boom, boom, I'm cutting. No wasted motion, boom. Understand? So I blocked, so that block would be for their left. If they're throwing a left, I'm blocking and I'm cutting. So, boom, boom. Now, normally I would say block, break, and then strike, but I don't have time for that. I'm a timid little female and you're a bandit. So, you don't understand that this timid little female is about to end your shit. So I'm going to block it, and I'm going to cut your throat. Block, push, cut. So block, push, cut. So I blocked it, I pushed it far enough with the block, and I cut. And basically the block and push is the same thing. So it looks like it's one motion. Understand? Now let's say I have it on this hand, same motion, alright, which is what I should have done in the first 2 seconds of trying to demonstrate that. Now 9 times out of 10, if I can sidestep, this isn't going to work very well on their arm, and there's thunder. So we're going to have to make this really quick video, because the storm might shut my shit down. So I'm going to block, and I'm going to cut this way. It's incorrect. This needs to be in this hand. So when I block, I can cut this way. Understand? Boom, boom. Alright, so now I've blocked, they're doing a right jab, I've blocked it and I've cut. So I've pushed when I block and I cut. Now I can do this block, because they're coming in, they're stepping in. So I can block and I can cut. Or I can lock, which I can trap this in there. I'm not going to do a lot of damage, but I use the big teeth, so I'm probably going to do enough to make them know that they've been hit, and I'm going to try to rake it across. But again, I don't recommend that. I recommend when you block, you just go for the throat. It's a whole lot easier. So let's say I block it and I punch him in the sternum. So boom, boom. That's okay, but it doesn't give me enough off to bend them down and jab. But if I do, if I go here, I want to switch in motion. So I'm going to change my hand now. So I blocked it, I stab, and then I stab up because of the 3 teeth. Understand? So that's, if that's not making enough sense. Here, I bend, this comes up. So that's why your hand, you're blocking, you're thumping, and then you thump up. Understand how that works? Now, a lot of people are going to look at me and say, it's a comb, James. It's a comb. Well, here's the thing. Something I learned in the Army. An IED can be in a container this big and blow a fucking Hummer over a house. So don't tell me it's just a comb. It's just a comb to you. Now, this brush is a little bit more difficult to do damage. So what you're going to do is, boom, boom, and you're going to strike in the sternum because it's a thicker spot. Or you're going to boom, and you're going to strike them in the throat. And the reason you're going to only target those two with the brush is because the brush does not have sharp bristles. So you're not going to cut anybody with a dull knife. Then again, you might, because you can cut somebody with a spoon if you taught properly. So you basically, you got this position. If you do knife fighting, you know the hand position for your knife. Same fucking thing with this brush. Boom, boom. Lock them in, snap an elbow, come back up in the throat. So that's block, crunch. So their elbow is fully extended, and you're cutting in, and you're pulling down, and then you're going right into the ribs. So you're going to do some damage. Boom, boom. And you're going over, your arm is going over their arm. Their arm is bent in here, because you've already bent it, so then you're thumping right there. Now, in the event that that person is short, right there will be right here. Alright? And the thing about knowing where to hit someone is the most important part of any fight that you will ever have in your life is knowing exactly where to hit someone. Because knowing how hard to hit won't do you any damn good if they're blocking everything you throw. But if they're throwing something that can't be blocked, then they have a problem. Now, you can always do this as a deterrent. You can throw it right at them, and while you're throwing it at them, you can escape, or you can throw it at them and run right behind it. So if you're running right behind it, this is coming right at you, and I'm coming right behind it. So what I do when I'm coming right behind it, I have options now. I can leap up with the knee to your face. I can slide under you and kick you in the shin, or I can sidestep and try to ridge hand you in the throat. There's a lot of things you can do because a person that's going to duck, they're not going to sit there and let this brush hit them in the fucking head unless they don't see it. Now, if they don't see it when you throw it, then they're shit out of luck, and you might have just got the luckiest day of your life. So you got to follow through with that, because if you don't, they're going to follow through with busting your shit. Now, I'm also a strong believer in what I'm about to say, so this is going to be very hypocritical. So before you call me a hypocrite, I'll do it myself. This is going to be very hypocritical because I'm a strong believer in that if at all possible, you probably should not throw your advantage at anyone. As you know, if somebody brings a knife to a fight and they throw their knife, they don't have a knife now. You see what I'm saying? So you can throw the brush. I highly don't think that you should, but you can throw the brush. Now, if you're going to escape, yeah, fucking throw the brush, because you're going to throw it at the fucking head. Now, you also got to make sure that you have an escape, because if you don't have an escape, you're going to wish you kept that brush. You understand where I'm going with that? So yeah, all that shit was hypocritical as a motherfucker. But you're going to need that shit. You need to have your escape route already set out before you do anything stupid. I will have to make this video up to you guys because it's storming, and I would like not to have the power surge fly through my computer and totally fuck shit up, or worse than that, fly through my computer and have another one of me pop out and start fighting, because that's going to be fun. But that being said, thank you guys for watching. This is Kung Fu Africa number 2. And for Instagram, BC and you, thank you for the one person who was watching me. I greatly appreciate it.